Alright my fellow agents, welcome back to the Gaming Brigade, and one request I've been getting here at the channel since the start of Year 8 Season 1 is to put together a very plug-and-play build based around the Refactor gear set that's pretty damn easy to put together. Now with that being said, this happens to be a build I can rely on for most things in the game, and the reason I say most things is because you do not want to use this build if you're playing Countdown, because if you do, you're going to get to the end, the hunters are going to hack your skills, you're going to murder your squad, then everyone's not going to be your friend, so do not be that player, you have been warned. Alright, so with that PSA out of the way, let's get into the build breakdown itself, starting with the specialization. You can see we're using Technician. Doing that for the following reasons: you get that extra skill tier. You also get an extra 12% damage to drone, skill, proxies, and robotics. This gives you access to the Talon Overclock CPU, which will give you an extra 10% skill damage bonus. And always remember to make sure you have the proper weapons activated in your weapon skill tree. That way you're getting a 15% weapon damage bonus regardless of which one you're using. I mention that because a lot of players out there like myself, we use the same template for different builds. When you don't switch the weapons, you're leaving weapon damage on the table, and you don't want to make that mistake. Now my primary weapon for this build is the Harmony Rifle. This just happens to be one of my go-to weapons in the game. Hitting an enemy grants 20% skill damage for 5 seconds. Using a non-shield skill or damaging an enemy with a skill grants 20% weapon damage for 5 seconds as well. And damage increases are doubled while both buffs are active at the same time. Secondary weapon is the Capacitor. This is one of those must-have exotics in the game, and you can see it has the Talent Capacitance. Shooting enemies builds stacks to a cap of 40. Each stack is going to grant 1.5% skill damage, and not only that, for every skill tier, you're going to gain an extra 7.5% weapon damage as well, which means because we are sitting at skill tier 6, we are going to receive an extra 45% weapon damage bonus right off the rip. Now the Harmony Rifle happens to be a PvP exclusive. You can also get it from named caches. The Capacitor is in the general loot pool. However, if you've never gotten one before, you can get one guaranteed by completing certain challenges in the summit. Another great option is the named Assault Rifle, the test subject, because that also has the Talon perfectly in sync, and I will go over a few other weapon options at the end of the build breakdown. Now moving on to the gear itself, you can see we're running 1 Wyvern, 1 Hannah U, and 4 of the Refactor gear set, which is what we're starting with. Running 4 so we get all of the gear set bonuses: 2 pieces 15% status effect, 3 pieces 25% skill damage, and 4 pieces return to sender. And with that talent, you're going to receive repairs of 10% of the damage dealt by your skills, and your allies will receive repairs of 20% of the damage dealt by your skills as well. Now moving on to the body armor, it's a 1 piece of Wyvern, and this is the named body armor, the Impetus. This is also in the general loot pool. You can farm for it anywhere Wyvern is the targeted loot. And as you can see, this has the Talon Perfect Kinetic Momentum. When in combat, each skill is going to generate a stack while active or not on cooldown. Stacks increase your total skill damage by 1.5% and total skill repair by 2%, up to 18 stacks per skill. Right after that, we have the holster, the knee pads, and the gloves, which are the 3 remaining pieces of the Refactor gear set. And you'll notice I'm doing my best to stack skill damage and a combination of skill haste and or skill duration everywhere I can. Last but not least, we have the body armor. It's the 1 piece of Hannah U, and we are using the named bag, the Force Multiplier, with its Talon Perfect combined arms. Shooting an enemy increases total skill damage by 30% for 3 seconds. As far as the skills are concerned, I'm using my favorite combination in the game, which is the Assault Drone and the Assault Turret. I just like the way they handle. If you want to use something else, that is totally up to you, dealer's choice. Finally, I want to mention in the gameplay footage you're about to see, I do not have any global modifiers running whatsoever, and the reason for that is to ensure that whenever you see this build, you know exactly what it can do without any special events going on. Hope this helped you out, my friends, and as always, questions, comments, or feedback, please let me know, and I'll do my best to get back to you as quick as I can. On that note, I'm going to leave you with some gameplay footage and a few final thoughts. As always, I want to take a moment and thank you all for your incredible continued support. Please let me know of any other questions you have I did not address. Thank you once again for the privilege of your time, and as I mention at the end of every one of these, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone. Hello once again, my fellow agents. I hope you're doing well on this fine day. Thank you for all the well wishes. I've been under the weather, as you can probably tell by my voice, but we're getting better every day, but I can't really take any time off of work. So, we do what we got to do, right? We do what we got to do. Anyway, as I said in the video, do not use this thing in Countdown. I cannot stress that enough. Okay? Just don't be that, don't be that player. All right? Just don't do it. The other thing I want to mention is that when it comes to the weapons that I'm using in this build, I talked about the Harmony Rifle, as I said in the video. It is a PvP exclusive. You can also get it from named caches. The capacitor, as I mentioned, you can get one guaranteed if you've never gotten one before by completing certain challenges in the summit. The test subject is in the general loot pool. You can farm for it anywhere the assault rifle is the targeted loot. Very popular farming method is by playing Retaliation like you're looking at on screen right now. You could also jump into countdown, set your targeted loot accordingly. And always remember, when it comes to certain items like the body armor, you always want to follow the brand set, not the actual type of item. So for instance, if you're trying to get the impetus body armor, you want to farm Wyvern. If you're trying to get the Hannah U backpack, you want to farm Hannah U. And the reason for that is because if you're just farming backpack, that puts that bag in the loot pool of every single other backpack in the game. But if you're choosing Hannah U, that means you're focusing on that brand set, which means you have a much better chance of getting that item, and you should be able to get one pretty quick playing Countdown, and I wish you nothing but the best of luck. I'm trying to think what else I want to talk about. I think that's pretty much it for this video. Next week, I should be back in a regular posting schedule, putting out at least, 4 or 5 videos a week. This week has been kind of a transition thing with work, so hopefully I'll be able to get back to my regular posting schedule soon. We will see what happens, my friends, and there's nothing really going on in the game right now until next week when we get the next title update, which will be on May 12th. Promise to keep you posted on any other updates the game shares with us. That's all I got for this thing, my friends. Thank you once again for everything, and I will see you in the next one.
Reinforcements incoming. Detecting additional hostile contacts. Heavily armored hostile detected.
Hostile kill squad nearby. Stay alert. Kill squad eliminated.